Wyoming whiskey for putting up the big grand prize, and especially to John for working so hard on this event. Let's give him a big round of applause. All right. The 3 songs that I have for you today, I wrote quite a long time ago, probably 10 years ago. They represent a time in my life when I was kind of figuring out that I was never going to fit into society, and it was going to be a long life in a bad way if I didn't figure out how to not crash through life so, clumsily. So kind of figuring out that I wasn't going to be the type of person who worked a 9-to-5 job, went home and watched sitcoms, and went to the bar and got drunk on the weekends. That wasn't going to work for me. I wasn't really going to take everything that was being spoon-fed to me. And so when you feel like that, then you kind of start to feel like everything you walk by, you hit your elbows and knees on, because nothing really makes sense. So these songs are about me kind of clumsily finding my way through that time in my life. And I haven't played them in a really long time until just this summer for this competition. And it was interesting to find that at that time in my life, I was kind of stumbling into some philosophical concepts that were already kind of laid out pretty clearly in a lot of Eastern philosophies, Zen Buddhism and Taoism, and I just didn't know them by that name at that time. Since then, I've done some studying of those things, and it was kind of cool that I didn't know them by that name, because if you know anything about Zen Buddhism, that's kind of a thing. So anyways, I hope you enjoy the songs. That's all I have to say about them.
What have we done? Oh, what have we done? We've drowned all the oceans and burnt out the sun. We've ripped up the earth, now we're mining the moon. If we ain't crazy yet, well, we're getting there soon. What have we lost? Oh, what have we lost? Onward and forward, but what was the cost? Factory farms, fruit with no seed, but these chemical plants do not have what we need. And I ain't got no home, no place to lay my bones. Everywhere I turn, I feel so all alone. I'm searching far and near, but the stars have disappeared. So I'm lost, and I ain't got no home. What have we built? Oh, what have we built? Machines that erase all these mountains of guilt. Bright shining cities, all littered with gold. We've packed up the natives, they're young and they're old. What have we broke? Oh, what have we broke? Cheap plastic living is made place to lay my bones. Everywhere I turn, I feel so all alone. I'm searching far and near, but the stars have disappeared. So I'm lost and I ain't got no home. I'm lost and I ain't got no home.
Thank you. All right, this next song, I used to call it Still Shining. I think I'm calling it Still Growing now, but it's somewhere in the middle of those concepts.
People going crazy, people losing their minds, can't seem to figure out what's worth keeping, what to leave behind. Everywhere I look, people losing their heads. They don't know how to be happy. They try so hard, but they're just so sad instead. When I look at the sun, it's still shining, it's still shining. When I look at the river, it's still flowing, it's still flowing. When I look at your heart, it's still beating, it's still beating. Take a look at yourself, you're still growing, still growing. People yelling and cursing over nothing at all, teaching their children to only see the darkness, to always feel so small. What happened to happy? What happened to free? What happened to living life as fully as it was meant to be? When I look at the sun, it's still shining, it's still shining. When I look at the river, it's still flowing, it's still flowing. I can feel your heart, it's still beating, it's still beating. Take a look at yourself, you're still growing, still growing. Some people seem crazy, laughing all day long. No matter what happens, their whole life plays out like a song. They know how to breathe, and they know how to love. So steady and constant, like the earth beneath, the sun and moon and stars above. And when I look at the sun, it's still shining, it's still shining. When I look at the river, it's still flowing, it's still flowing. Can you feel my heart? It's still beating, it's still beating. Take a look at yourself, you're still growing, still growing. You're still growing. I'm still growing.
All right, this last song I'm going to play for you is called Walnuts. This song is it's a little weird for people to understand, I think, without an explanation. So I'm going to give it a little bit of an introduction. When my husband and I lived back in Ohio, we used to go out in the woods and gather black walnuts during, I don't know, October, November, whenever it was that season was. And we were walking in the woods, which is one of our favorite places to be, and we were talking about how crazy everybody is, running around. They're so busy. They gotta work so much to afford their cars so they can get to work and pay for their gas and, you know, all that. And they just get caught up in this typical rat race thing. And they're always distracted by everything, their cell phones and the internet and all this going on. And we just talked about how simple life really should be and how none of that really matters. At the end of the day, all the things you thought was so important and you're so stressed out about, it just really doesn't matter. So that's where this song came from.
Running at the speed of sound, there's chaos all around. Working fingers to the bone, so scared to be alone. When you listen to the walnuts fall, nothing really matters at all. Ooh, nothing really matters at all. Take a long, long look around and see what can be found when you're quiet, when you're still. You're buying everything that you're sold, doing everything that you're told. You're filling up all of your time, but you're losing all your rhythm and rhyme. But if you listen to the walnuts fall, nothing really matters at all. Ooh, nothing really matters at all. Take a long, long look inside and learn from what you find when you're quiet, when you're still. Just listen to the walnuts fall, 'cause nothing really matters at all. Ooh,
Thank you so much. Hope you have a great rest of the evening and rest of the weekend. Ooh, almost ran off stage without unplugging my cord.
I don't hug all the contestants, by the way. My wife, Alanna Steinke.